Good morning, everybody. It's Brooke with Mrs. Cog Hill Farm. Hope everybody's doing well on this beautiful morning here in Alabama anyway. Hope it's beautiful where you are. Temperatures have really warmed up here this past week, and I am semi in the dark. Y'all can't tell because obviously it's sunlight, but the power company had a planned outage and we are going to be out of power today from 8 a.m. till about noon, little after, but that's okay because we have a generator at the house. It's just the barn's without power. I would have a big problem if I had an incubator going. I was thinking about it and I reached out to my friend Catherine over at G&G and I said, is your power going to go off today? And she said, I don't know what you're talking about, because she lives just a couple of miles from us. And I said, okay, if you don't know about it, it's probably not going to happen, because the power company reached out to us, telephone, email, and every way they knew how to let us know there is an outage today. They're repairing some lines and making some changes. And she said, thankfully, no, because she's got an incubator going. No incubator going here, no chicks on heat anymore. I'm about to have to make a decision as to where they're gonna go next. But yeah, so we're semi in the dark in here. I've already fed everybody this morning, and I had something really, really good happen. So as you guys probably are aware of, we moved Matilda, who is the next to the youngest cow on the farm, back to the back where all the other cows are. It has worked out beautifully. I am telling y'all what, it's been such a blessing for me to be able to come out and feed her with the cows rather than having to contend with her head slinging and with the goats. And she's really calmed down a lot since she's back here. I think probably having all the grass that she can eat and being with other of her kind has really helped with that. But this morning I was out feeding, and I usually start with Peaches and Pookie because their food has to soak. They're both old animals and they benefit from their food being soaked. And during that time, I go and fix the cows' feed and come back here and feed them. Well, this morning, as it has been the past few days, we've had some rain. The cows were covered in flies. And y'all know, we've showed y'all what a problem it is to get fly spray on our cows. So I said, I'm gonna attempt to do this myself, and I'm gonna do it a little differently. So Jason was at home. He had to do some things on the computer, and I loaded up some fly spray in a syringe, a large syringe that I have. Matilda, of course, is very easy. I mean, she will do anything that I want her to. I don't know when Mildred decided that she was gonna be scared of fly spray, but at some point, she decided fly spray is not for me, and she doesn't realize what the benefits are. So, I was able to get Tater. You can see Miss Tater is chewing her cud right now, laying down, and just enjoying her shade of the Moo Mansion. Then we have Big Moody out here, who's babysitting the little one at this time. I tell y'all, Tater feels so comfortable leaving the little calf with either Mildred or Moody. I mean, she leaves it with Matilda too, but Matilda's not old enough to really be a babysitter yet. But you can see he's out there with his big Uncle Moody, and everybody just does a wonderful job at taking turns helping Tater out when she needs a break from her calf. So I attempted to load the fly spray up in the syringe, and I immediately got Matilda. No problem, right? Matilda, it was 2 weeks for her since her last has been applied, and that's what they recommend for this particular brand is 2 weeks. And got it on her. So then I went and loaded it up again, got it on Miss Tater. Tater's very easy. And then I said, you know what? Mildred's out there laying down. She was at the time, and she was laying down with the little calf. So I said, I'm gonna go over to Mildred. I'm gonna put the fly spray on her. I don't know what happened to Mildred, but Mildred decided she wasn't going to have any fly spray on her. I already had it loaded up in the syringe, and it was the maximum amount that you could use on a cow, so that meant it was good for Moody too. So I walk over to Mr. Moody, and Moody's standing up. He wasn't laying down at the time. I had the syringe in my hand, and I put the fly spray all over Moody without any problem whatsoever. So all the bovine, except for sweet Mildred here, has fly spray on them. I'm gonna get you, girl. I'm gonna figure out how to get some fly spray on you, because I know they have to be aggravating. Yes, they do. You look very content though, even though you got some flies on you. If y'all look way down there at the end of the road, you can see a power company truck, and he is indeed being lifted up on the bucket. I'm not sure what exactly they're doing to the lines today, but some kind of maintenance or repairs, and they'll get it back on soon enough. It's just a little hiccup for those that don't have a generator or don't have a generator in their barn. Hey there. Hey, I can't go by without telling you hello. And I saw Biscuit and Sylvester laying out in the sun enjoying themselves. We had a little storm that was supposed to come through last night. The weather people kind of put a little fear in us, saying it was going to be bad. But y'all know what? It completely missed us. We didn't have any bad weather. So, I mean, that's a lot to be thankful for, because some people did get hit hard in the state of Alabama. Even some of you guys reached out to us and wanted to know that we were safe from the tornadoes. And it's just weird that it just completely went around us. So we're thankful for that. Now, yesterday, I did get to do something that, well, I enjoy doing, first of all, and second of all, has just been, it's just been too long since it got done. And we're gonna take a walk, and I'm gonna show you what that is. So one of the things that I have been wanting to do was to get this area over here cut. And the blades on our lawnmower were just wore slap out. It was time to put a new set of blades on for the season. And before we change those out, I said, since they're already dull, I'm gonna go down here and use the 0-turn lawnmower to cut all this area. And I did, and y'all, I'm here to tell you, it looks so much better. I just hate when things get overgrown and unruly, and Nugget and Goldie, they don't like it either, but they love it when I cut grass, because they follow behind me and they try to get all the little insects. And in case y'all didn't know it, emus are omnivores, and they do eat insects as well as grass and grains and such as that. So yeah, they enjoy when I cut grass, and it just looks so nice once this area is maintained. Now, Caden is here today, and Caden's taking care of some weed eating and different things that I can't do and Jason doesn't have time to do. So like this area right here where this pipe drains to, we want all that to be weed eated, and a little bit at a time. It's starting to look like it's maintained again. Well, in between the time that I just showed y'all the area by the pond, the power company has made their way into the fruit orchard, and they are changing out transformers. So Jason's over there talking to them, and it appears they're gonna change out our transformers that are up by the house, as well as those on the road. Well, while I was cutting, I knew that this area that we're gonna fence in and put the horses needed cutting too. And it may sound crazy to cut it when we're gonna put the horses over here, but it had just gotten kind of a little bit too tall to put horses over here. And plus, we're not even ready to put the fence up. We're just trying to get things prepared. So I thought before we get started on the fence, I might take my skid steer and clean some of this brush out and go ahead and get it out of the way so we can start the fence. But when I was cutting, something caught my eye, and that was the 2 male peacocks that we have. They were both hanging out in this area, and I did not see the one female that we have. And that's not unusual. She kind of goes about her business sometimes away from them. But I cut over here, and I was over here for quite some time, so I watched and just kind of, you know, made sure that I kept an eye on things and noticed what she was doing. And I just saw something that caught my eye, and that was that she went over to a corner in the woods over here where I was talking about getting some rubbish up to get it out of the way with the skid steer. And I thought, she might be fixing to make her a nest over here and lay some eggs. It's a little late in the season. We have typically had peahens lay as early as February, and it usually they'll have their babies by now, and the babies will be on up in size. And I felt it was odd that she had not laid yet this season, but I just scratched it off and kept going. So I'm glad I did not get the skid steer out to come clean up this debris that's over here. As you can see, I did all this with the tractor, and some of it's needing to be pushed up, and it's needing to be out of the way because our property line is right here in this clearing. So this is where I saw her yesterday. Oh my goodness. I see her right now. I see her right now. Can y'all see her? She's very camouflaged, but there she is. There she sits. And some of her feathers are even on the ground, and I just found one right in front of me. Y'all see the coloration of the female? She is not brightly colored like the male. And the reason why is because of this right here. She blends in just about so well that you can't see her. But that does not mean a predator won't see her. And y'all know that we lost Miss Ozella sitting on a clutch of eggs last year. And I cannot take a chance for her sitting. I do think that she hopped on them this morning, because yesterday I did not come over here and follow her. I let her do her thing, but I knew the area. And I said, this morning I'm going to come back and I'm going to look and I'm going to see if there are any eggs. I thought there would be eggs. I didn't think she'd be sitting, but she's already starting to sit. So that tells me her clutch is there, and I can't let her sit. Now, one thing we do not do here on our farm is we don't sell animals. Our animals are here for us to take care of and give them a sanctuary where they can live free and be taken care of. So I am gonna get her off the nest. I don't know how many eggs, may just be one, because I haven't seen anything. Doesn't mean anything though. I can't let her sit. And if Catherine, my friend over at G&G, wants to try to hatch them, that would be wonderful, because with her having already started to sit, those eggs, even though it's been less than 24 hours, they're still trying to develop, and I don't want to just chunk them. So I will reach out to Catherine. Catherine won't sell them. She'll give them to somebody if they are wanting a pea chick, or she'll keep them for herself. And if she wants to do that, I'll go ahead and gather them. So I'm gonna reach out to her and see what she says. In the meantime, I just saw one of the males going that way, and the other one, let's see if we can't get a glimpse of him. He just hopped up on the top of the pigeon coop over here. So he's gonna come this way. Okay, so I was able to reach out to Catherine, and she does indeed want to hatch the eggs. Her power is on. The power company is actually leaving our place right now. And she said she's already got an incubator going, so no problem for me to go ahead and gather them. With them being warm right now, I'll take them over to her. She'll stick them in the incubator. And I'm just gonna have to watch this peahen, because she's gonna lay again. She's gonna lay again, but y'all, I cannot take a chance of a predator killing her and me knowing where she's sitting. This is a very vulnerable spot where she chose because it is wooded, is completely wooded behind her. Last year when she laid in the porta hut. And that is in one of the fenced-in pastures, and I felt pretty comfortable about allowing her to sit there. I'm gonna set the camera up and I'm gonna get her off her eggs. She's not gonna be happy with me, but she's also gonna be here, and she's not gonna lose her life because of a predator that wants her eggs. She may or may not get up. If a predator approached her, she may just get up and fly away and let the predator have her eggs. Or she may do like her mama did and continue to sit and lose her life. So here we go. And just like that, I went to the wrong spot. I was thinking she was over here, and I would not have seen her had I not. She's just that camouflage. But she's not camouflaged to a predator. They can smell, they have senses that they know that there's eggs there, and they know that there's a warm body over here sitting. 3 eggs. 1, 2, 3. Now, if Snow White, our white peahen, was broody, I would put these in there for her to sit on and hatch out a little one that she could live with. Of course, she's in there with some silkies, so those eggs are not fertile. I would allow her to sit on them because I know these eggs are fertile. She could hatch out a friend or a daughter or son, whatever she wants to relate to it, but she's not broody. So with her not being broody, it's no point in me putting these in there to rot when they have already been sat on and potentially started to develop. So Catherine, I'm gonna go pay her a visit, and quickly before I head over there, I'm gonna check the geese because I did notice one of my, you're not supposed to have favorites, but one of my favorite geese, Pringles, was in the area where the other geese have laid. So I need to make sure she didn't lay an egg. If she did, it may not be there anymore because something may have gotten it last night. But she had not laid an egg when I finished cutting grass. So we're gonna head over there first before I go to Catherine's and give her 3 peahen eggs. There's Pringles, right there. Are you, nope, you're Goldie. Nugget's coming up behind me. You're not supposed to have favorites, Nugget. But Miss Pringles is my favorite goose. And this is the area where I saw her yesterday, which is where all the other eggs have been. It's gone up. No, it's still there. I don't know how many there are. Nope, there's no egg. What in the world is coming in here getting eggs? I know good and well she laid because I saw her over here yesterday. Goodness gracious. I don't know what is coming in here eating the eggs, but it's no threat to the geese or Nugget or Goldie. It's probably, I don't know, maybe a possum. Not to say possums can't kill chickens and geese, because they can, but if they've got eggs and it's easy access, then they would rather have the eggs. I also saw some geese acting funny over here. All right, I see a spot. Yeah, I see a spot. Do you have eggs? You are mad at me, aren't you, girl? And this is her husband. He's mad too, but I don't want, yeah, I see some eggs. I'm not gonna let y'all see it. I'm not gonna let y'all see it. Did y'all know that geese have teeth? They have a row of teeth. I'm not sure if you can see it, but they have a row of teeth. And that's why it hurts so bad when you get bit by a goose. Now, if you're sitting on the eggs and the predator comes, you're gonna get got. Bottom line. can't let it happen, girl. This is going to call for some help. I'm not going to try to do it by myself. All right. Nugget, can you help me? Can you help me out here, brother? You are Goldie. Oh, and here comes some reinforcement. This is another male coming. He hears all the chaos and he wants to come over and indeed help. So I got Jason to come and give them some feed. And when he did, you can see the two of them, this is the mom and the daddy, are headed to the feeding area and they're off the eggs. So I'm gonna go over now and safely retrieve the eggs. Much easier to deal with when there's not a goose over here. Plus, I don't want them to think bad of me. Ooh, ooh, there's 3 eggs. All right, she has not been sitting on these yet. She's still laying. So at least I know where the area is. I mean, it's no different in me getting them and a predator getting them. So I'm leaving. I'm on my way to Catherine's, and she thinks that she knows what the predator is that I have. I've seen some little holes out in the area where the geese and Nugget are, and she's gonna tell y'all what she thinks the predator is and why she thinks there's no threat to the emus or the geese. So let's go. Okay, y'all, so I have just arrived at G&G Farm where I'm gonna hand over, let's see, 6 eggs to Miss Catherine, 3 of them being peahen and 3 of them being goose. So I told everybody that you thought you knew what that predator is that I have in the goose pasture.
I do think so, yes.
What do you think it is?
I think you have yourself a nice little groundhog.
A groundhog.
Yeah.
And are they any threat to my animals?
No. So while groundhogs, or another name for them that's a cute name is a whistle pig, while they are omnivorous animals, they don't mess with the big stuff.
Okay.
When you say omnivorous, they will eat eggs, but mostly it's bird eggs and insects, but they will tear your garden up. They really like vegetables better.
Catherine, there's little holes all in that pasture, and they're not very deep. So don't they eat roots too?
They're looking for the yes, they're looking for the roots that are edible. That some of the stuff they like root vegetables. So if you had some carrots out there, they would certainly eat your carrots up. But they'll eat your garden down. But they'll also eat like little bird eggs. They'll eat geese eggs, of course, but they're no threat to your geese or your emus or ducks or anything like that.
It may be a good thing that those eggs aren't sitting out there because it would attract other predators.
It would, yeah.
But then again, I don't want to kill the groundhog. Is it illegal for me to trap it and relocate it?
Well, it would be illegal for you to relocate it to a different area off of your property, because you wouldn't, number one, you wouldn't have permission to be on someone else's property to release it, or on state property on the highway to release it. But if you released it like on the backside of your property, 9 times out of 10 it's not far enough and it's coming back. It lives there.
Okay.
So
I may just have a groundhog with me for the rest of my...
You may have a groundhog, and if he's not bothering your garden, and I have one that stays here in my yard.
Oh, really?
I mean, he doesn't bother my garden
when
yet,
we lived in our other location at our old farm, we never ever saw a groundhog. And we had one living in the old barn when we bought this property.
Yeah.
So it may be the same one.
It's probably the same one. And we have one that lives in the backfield where the peacocks are right now. But we also have one that we saw the other day that is right here in the yard.
So you have more than one.
I have more than one, and probably a breeding pair. But so far, he has not been a problem. He has not come into the garden, which would be the only thing that I would worry about. If you see my dark fingernails I'm planting right now.
Oh, you look cute. I was just thinking how cute you look.
I'm in my gear for gardening today. But yeah, it's not a threat at all to any of my animals, and I just kind of let them live here, and we joke about the whistle pig on the property.
Yeah, well, I'd never heard that term until you told me here recently, because I told you I see one walking down the road or in somebody's yard just about every time I go to town, and they just are amazing creatures.
Now, they are beautiful, but don't touch it.
So that's
it
the
will
same
eat
thing
you
as a
up.
woodchuck? Is
Yes.
that right?
Yes.
A woodchuck, a groundhog, or a whistle pig.
Yeah.
You know what I might do? I know where my geese want to lay. So how about I put a game camera up and see if we can't verify that this is indeed, I'm going to call it a whistle pig.
Yes, do that.
And
If
then
you get
I
a
can
cute little
whistle
picture.
at it and see if it whistles back.
I bet that little whistle pig won't whistle.
You don't
It
think?
will growl though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'll tear you up if you try to touch it.
I'm not going to go near it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
So that's why the geese get up, I guess.
Yeah, they're really mean. If you get near them, they're scared of you for one thing. But if you are able to grab one, it's gonna rip your arm off. But
they have some claws, don't
oh
they?
yeah, they have claws, teeth, and they will tear you up.
So they dig with their claws, obviously.
They do, and they look for those root vegetables and small insects like crickets, bird eggs. In your case, geese and duck eggs.
They have hit the jackpot.
They've hit the jackpot, and he made his hole in that pasture because he said he wants to be near the food source.
How about that?
So if you have a food source on the property, you can find their hole if you have one on your property.
Well, y'all go get you a friend like Catherine. It's highly recommended. She's full of knowledge, and she's got an incubator that she's going to put these eggs into and make somebody, meaning you, a very happy.
Yeah, and everyone, I got 100%. I just got bit by something. I got 100% hatch rate on the last set of geese eggs that you gave me.
Well, what do you think about the peacock eggs? You think they're going to hatch?
Oh, they're absolutely going to hatch.
Okay,
we're going to have little pea chicks running around.
That's right.
Yes.
So I'm excited for you to get your first incubation of pea chicks.
Won't that be wonderful? And I got Miss Laura trying to call the boys, the Three Stooges back. So
you may have more pea chicks than I have geese in the future.
Tony's probably going to get... Tony will go fishing.
Yeah, that's right.
To get away from the peacocks.
Well, thank you, Catherine, for taking those eggs, because she just got off of them, and I bet if you go stick them in the incubator, they're going to hatch for you.
Oh, I appreciate you bringing them over here, and I can pay you in jalapeno pepper plants.
Oh, we'll take you up on that. We'll just come pick peppers and maybe make some pepper jelly.
Well, I have extra plants that I'm up potting because I have nothing to do with them.
Oh, I will take a pepper plant because Jason was going to pick one up.
I've got banana pepper, jalapeno, and Hossinator bell pepper.
How about that?
Yeah.
Nothing like a good trade.
That's right.
All right, y'all, I made it back to the farm and got some pepper plants to show Jason, and he's going to be happy about my trade. So all is well. I hope everybody has a wonderful afternoon, and until next time, y'all be good.